What's good?
All
What's
right,
good?
all right. What's up, peoples? We got my man's ETK Seth, the all-around artist tournament 2 winner. Um, he will be the number one seed, well, a number one seed in the all-around artist 3 tournament. So, shout out to Seth,
Yes,
and
sir.
I wanna say I appreciate you for getting in the tournament, man. Like a lot of people, you'll be surprised how many people just didn't like. And I just felt like, man, they don't know what they're passing up. Like a lot of people, you could benefit so much from these tournaments that I've been doing. So like I said, I
I,
appreciate you, man, for joining the tournament or whatnot.
for sure, for sure. And don't get me wrong, I had no idea what I was getting into, but I'm definitely glad that I did. You know what I mean? I fuck around and got to meet some cool cats along the way, and in the future, got a few, features lined up. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised how everyone, held their own, no one, came with, like a riff raff type song, and at the same time,
Hmm.
everyone, showed love even once they lost, you know what I mean? That kind of,
Right, right.
sportsmanship is what I like to see, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
definitely went out their way to make sure that they, kept voting and, sharing their lives and still making sure that they be, in the tournament still. And hopefully I see a lot of them for this next one.
And that's what I said, like at the end versus you and Tazy, on my story on Instagram. I said, man, you guys both showed good sportsmanship. There was something else that I noticed that you guys did, and I was like, that's basically what I wanted to see. Growth or whatnot. Everybody just tapping in with each other. Support. It was real.
Right, right.
It was I feel like it
Yeah,
was genuine love, all or what I'm saying, however you want to say it, support.
yeah,
So
so it was definitely a lot of sportsmanship for sure. It's because, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, it was still a challenge. Everyone was making sure
hmm.
they went out for the win and everything. And one thing for sure, I definitely got to give a shout out to all my voters and all that for going out their way. You know what I mean. Even if it was just a couple seconds to go ahead and show some love. So I'm gonna go live on the 22nd of this month, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be giving out a drawing, and I'm gonna pick the first 3 people, and the first 3 people out of the drawing are gonna go ahead and get a free ETK hat, fresh from my new lineup. So it ain't gonna be this one, but it's gonna be something
That's
more
fresh.
special.
That's
So,
fresh. Okay, okay, that's dope, man. So we're gonna take it straight from the top, man, and just follow suit, and we're gonna let them know, a
right,
little
right.
bit more about you. So, yo, what's that word for the people that don't know and the people that know? Who do we got on All Around TV today? What's your name and where you from?
It's your boy ETK coming fresh from Pittsburgh. Now I'm over here in Winchester, Kentucky. You know what I mean? But absolutely represent all the United States. You know what I mean? All around.
Okay, that's right. So like, how do you feel about winning the All Around Artist Tournament too?
I'm grateful. You know, I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity. You know what I mean? There was a lot of good challengers out there, and you know what I mean. Being able to take home a trophy, you know what I mean, it's definitely something that I could, add to the resume. You know what I mean, for sure.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm definitely happy to go ahead and at the same time meet incredible artists. You know what I mean? Like I got to tap in with Southside Nino, and Southside Nino, you know what I mean. He stayed in throughout the whole tournament, made sure that he voted, showed, you know what I mean, great sportsmanship. And then you also had the real NBF. You know what I mean. He also came out there and he showed some love. You know what I mean. So it's grateful. I'm grateful to have them type of people. You know what I mean, by my side. You know what I mean. It's because at the end of the day, it takes a village to go ahead and change the community.
Man, that's right, Seth. So like, let me ask you, was you ever nervous during any matchup?
Every single one, honestly. Yeah, it's because like at first, you know what I mean. Uh, you don't know what you're gonna bring to the table. You know what I mean. So you got to go in there with confidence, because you know what I mean. You already signed up. You got to walk that line regardless. You know what I mean. So to be able to go and see everyone's style flow and everything and all that. Like there was a few of them, you know what I mean. I was like, yeah, I got this, you know what I mean. But there was other ones. I was like, ooh, like when I got to the very end, that's why I said I was glad that I went up against Tay Z, is because Tay Z, she went out there and like she had a voice, you know what I mean. She, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you could hear her clearly, you know what I mean, which is a big thing to me being a lyricist. You know, I don't really
Right.
go too much for mumble rapping and all that, but
Right. Being
yeah,
able to
she
understand, what the artist is
right,
saying. Yeah.
right, exactly, you know what I mean. So you know what I mean. It's what I wanted in the end. You know what I mean. But I know for this next season, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to get a couple artists that I know. You know what I mean. Especially you know what I mean. It's the ones that I'm gonna be shouting out towards the end. It's because I'm definitely gonna you know what I mean have them go up. Is because I have a few places that I'm gonna be having to go, you know, trip wise and everything. I got a lot going
Okay.
on for these next couple months, so I might have to go give my lineup to somebody else. So you know what I mean. If
Okay.
you
Okay.
want,
So
we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that, and we'll go
okay.
ahead maybe on the second interview. You know what I mean. That'll be like a little surprise for the audience. You know what I mean. This because I want you and I to talk about it and figure out who's gonna be the best artist that we feel that we should be putting in for that slot. So
Okay. Yeah. Most
it's gonna
definitely.
be a little
We're gonna
mystery
have
for
to.
everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna definitely have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna get in your inbox. You know what I'm saying? DM you as soon as we get off live.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So who do you feel like? Which artist that you went against? Which matchup do you feel like which artist did you like the most? It was you and Tazy at the end. I believe it was you and Southside Nino at the beginning.
Right.
Uh,
That yeah.
you had
There was a
five total
couple.
matches.
There was a couple good ones. If I had to pick between like maybe two, it would have to be between Tay Z and Southside Nino, for real. But you know what I
Yes,
mean.
Jacob.
But
One
like
second.
we might chat it up and we might go ahead and just bring in a star that no one's seen before yet. You know what I mean? Like that's why we're gonna try to make it interesting for people. You know what I mean? So if y'all
Right.
know anyone that y'all got in mind that was in the battle or whatnot that I went up against, make sure y'all go ahead and vote for them in the comments, and we'll go ahead and we'll take it up from there. Go ahead and you know what I mean. Give everyone a fair opportunity. You know.
1 second. So my son was in here, and that's what the delay was with the live at 7 p.m. I was like, oh man, and I was in there with him. Hold on.
No, it's all good. You know what I mean. Family's always first. That's for sure.
So let's see. We already know where you're from. Let's see. Let's because I got a couple of questions written down that I normally don't ask, and normally the first question that I ask is basically questions of information. You know what I'm saying about
Right, right,
yourself. You know what I'm saying. So this is a part one interview, I guess you could say slash. You know what I'm saying, the tournament, because I'm mixing in a few new questions or whatnot. So
right, right.
that's why you
Hey,
see
it's
me
all
looking
good.
at my phone like. Sometimes I kind of just I want to go off the head, but I really want that for like the podcast. You know what I'm saying, for
Right,
my
right, right, right.
podcast. So
Hey, that's all
um,
cool, man. Shoot away, whatever you got for me. You know what I mean.
okay, so you say who's influenced you to make music?
My great grandma, you know what I mean. She was a songwriter and performer, and I could definitely say that she would probably be the top one for me for sure. You know what I mean? It's because growing up seeing her, you know what I mean, singing all that, she always had an angelical voice, and that just kind of motivated me. You know what I mean? Even though I did start off, you know what I mean, rapping and freestyling and all that. You know what I mean? I started getting into singing a little bit later once I started converting over the country and all, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely say she's definitely the inspiration for sure. Besides my children, you know what I mean. It's, at the end of the day, this is what we do it for our children, right?
That's right, man. That's it, man. And if like that's what I tell a lot of people. If you're doing it and you don't have nothing, what you're doing it for, like why are you doing it? So
Right, you
yeah,
got
like
something to fight for.
Yeah, I'm trying to show him how to do, like he's right here watching, and they pay attention to everything that we do. So how long have you been making music, Seth?
I've been making music ever since I was 7, for real, for real. Like I said, started off, you know what I mean, just like rap battling and like freestyling, kicking back on the green box and all that, you know what I mean. But as I got
Okay.
older, you know what I mean, I started writing down my songs, and it actually started out as low key, as like ghost writing for people, and then I came to the studio when I was 18, and then once I went from the studio, I started, just fucking around and all that. And then a lot of people said, like, yo, man, you got a gift. I feel like you should actually try to do something with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? I took all the songs that I had written and all that, and I started writing some more, and I started taking them to the studio. And then went and did my first show in Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? And then after that, I did like 6 more, came down to
Oh,
Kentucky. Then after that, I started doing shows in Atlanta, Florida, Cincinnati, Columbus, everywhere.
damn. That's dope. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? You say you've been doing it for so you've been doing it for a while. Like
Yeah, right.
how long have you taken it serious, Jacob?
Uh, I probably
Or have
started
you
taking
taken
it
it
serious.
serious since you begun?
Well, you definitely ever since I was young, for real. But when it came to the recording part of it, I'll definitely probably say around like 19. You know what I mean? But yeah, like
Okay.
I always been serious with everything, is because I always wanted to hear the reactions of people. You know what I mean? Like when I go ahead and I spit something, and people be like or something like that. Like just seeing the reaction, or just being able to get the reactions back. Like I'll start getting messages of people that would like low key. I had people send me messages of them getting my logo tattooed on them, or they'll be over
Really?
here just singing my songs. Yeah, swear. And then I had people over here, you know what I mean, having their kids dance to my songs and all that, especially my country songs. So
That's
that
dope,
kind of,
man.
it warms my heart. It helps, gives me motivation to keep going on.
Speaking of shows, when was your last show or last event that you performed in?
I had a few of them. I had one at Mole's Lounge not too long ago. I can't necessarily remember the date, but yeah, that was in Cincinnati, Ohio. We went ahead and we were supposed to be opening up for this one country guy or whatnot, but he ended up canceling. So they was gonna shut down the whole event. But me and Golden Rose Entertainment, you know what I mean? They said that they wanted us to do it, and they said if we would still do it, that they would go ahead and keep the event live. You know what I mean? So we slid through, and we did exactly what we meant to do. We made it live. You know what I mean? Everyone had a good time. You know what I mean? Mo's is definitely a good, lounge for anyone that's around well, not Pittsburgh, but around like Cincinnati, Cleveland, and all that. If y'all want to go ahead and tap in, you know what I mean, try to do some music, freestyles or whatnot, whatever you want to do to try to get your music out there, it's can definitely take it serious, you know what I mean. But definitely tap out up in Mo's lounge, you know what I mean. They'll definitely get you right, you know. You just gotta be willing to go ahead, be a soldier
Most
with it, you know what I mean.
You heard it, guys. You heard it from Seth. Okay, now so let's see. What like let's see how should I ask this question? How long you made music? Where would you said Mo's, is that in Cincinnati or is that in
Yeah, yeah,
Ohio?
yeah. That's in
I mean,
Cincinnati,
is that
Ohio.
in Cleveland, Ohio, or is it in Cincinnati in Ohio?
Oh yeah, that's in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah.
Okay, so you had mentioned Cleveland. It's not in Cleveland because I had wanted to
No, no,
go to
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it's not in Cleveland, you know what I mean? It's just around the surrounding area. I think Cleveland's like maybe like 4 hour drive from Cincinnati. So or
Okay, now
around that range.
let me ask you this, Seth. What song of yours should be played at the cookout? Like, what song of yours would be
Mm.
the best song to play at a cookout? Let's say that.
Well, I definitely got a few for real, but I got this one that I made not too long ago. It's called The Broken Story. And
Okay.
it's a real soulful beat, you know what I mean? It's basically about two couples that went ahead and they basically was having like a domestic relationship with each other, and instead of choosing the right way to go about it, they chose the wrong way. And that's a story that I leave for y'all to listen to, is because it's definitely one of those ones that might, for certain people, make you tear up. Is because it definitely happened to the CEO of Golden Rose. She went ahead and she listened to it and she started to tear up. Is because it be some real shit. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people be going through some stuff that they be scared to talk about. You know what I mean? So that's why when I make this music, I want to try to produce music that we felt back in the day. Like, you remember back in the day, we heard like music and we would feel it in our chest. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like, we'd be
yeah,
sitting,
yeah,
we'd
real
be here.
like real rap. Well, any type of music, real hip
Yeah,
hop,
any type
real.
of music,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right,
Country's always kind of been, you know what I'm saying. And I got to be transparent. I got to be honest. You know, it's always kind of been right up there at the top. Because if you
right.
think about
Yeah,
it,
it's
like I
definitely been
said, it
close
was
to
the
rap for sure.
hits. But you know, and that's why we see some country artists and rap artists. You know, they make songs for each other nowadays. You know, you've got rap like Lil Wayne for example. You know, writing for country artists. You know, and then country artists. You know, writing for R&B artists or whatnot. So
Right.
you know, that's definitely being able to do that as dope. So let me ask you this, Seth.
Yeah, what's up?
I got you on All Around TV. Who would you like to work with, and who all have you worked with?
Well, when it comes to everyone that's been on all around so far that's been in a tournament, I haven't necessarily worked with anyone just yet. But I definitely got a few lined up with Southside Nino, and then whenever Tay-Z's ready, you know what I mean, she could go ahead and she could hit me up, and we could go ahead and we could work on something. It's because I definitely need a couple female artists. So
Okay,
I made it clear, you know what I mean. I told everyone in the chat, you know what I mean. Like, if y'all want to go ahead and do a feature, I respect everyone enough that I'll go ahead and in the first feature I could go ahead and do for the free, you know what I mean. So that's a
okay,
free feature, you know what I mean. So I feel like that's something that people should definitely try to tap into, and it always having a feature is good for artists because you're not only getting the listeners of your fans, but the listeners of other people's fans. So the
right
more
on.
followers that you can get. So, you
That's
know what I
it,
mean? You
Seth.
definitely want to try to tap in.
Hey, that's it. That's the part of networking, you know. And some people like,
Right.
damn, like that's what this basically is. It was a networking tournament. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like you said, you're gonna gain so much from it. You know, some people want to charge this huge amount for a feature or for a hook, or and you really don't. You know, we gotta make it make sense, but at the same time, you know, it don't have to. It ain't. I mean, I guess on certain levels, but like right now we're all underground. You know, we're all
Right.
the ones like really major or mainstream right now.
I definitely still got a lot of work for sure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My first, you know what I mean. I want to say big debut, but my first, I feel like eye opener is when I went down to Atlanta, Georgia, and
Okay.
every everyone was performing either rock or rap. You know what I mean? And I just came out of the woodworks with some country music and everything, and I definitely got a couple eyes that you know what I mean. Eventually, at the end of the show, went ahead and came up and
Turned it
talked to
up.
me and all that. Yeah, I tried to. You know what I mean. That's why they call me the Kentucky Wild Boy. You know what I mean. I be turning
Yeah.
up. That's one of the reasons why I had to quit drinking. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So okay, now can I get your top three? Actually, I'm gonna go with. Can I get your Mount Rushmore, Kentucky? Your Kentucky
All
Mount
right.
Rushmore. Who do you feel like from 5 to 1? Or you know, who's your top five?
Yeah, top five. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna exclude me from this. You know what I mean? Is because I'm always gonna be my top favorite. You feel me? So, but hmm, I might have to say Geo Con, and
Okay,
then I'm gonna have to go Brandy Wine, then Apollo Z,
okay,
then Queenie Golden, and then I'm gonna have to go Murder Four Ways for number one.
okay. So I'm gonna have to go and check them out. We're gonna have to tap in with them and see what's.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
have to see. I think I tapped. Hold on, I tapped in with Apollo G. Or what
Yeah,
did you say?
Apollo Z. Apollo Z.
What's his name?
Apollo Z.
Oh, Apollo Z. Okay, I said Apollo G.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's my engineer, and he's also the co-owner of Golden Rose Entertainment.
Okay, that's what it is. I think I had tagged him on our live last
Yeah,
week
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
over the
yeah.
weekend.
Not the
So
second battle,
yeah,
not the last one, but the second one from
yeah,
last. Yeah.
yeah. So that rung a bell. Okay, so that's. I'm gonna have to most definitely check them out, Seth. Okay, now what do you think about the music scenery in Kentucky?
The music scene in Kentucky, we got a lot of beautiful venues out here. You know what I mean? We're right next to Tennessee, so you know what I mean. Music is a big thing in our culture besides our football. So I feel like there's been a lot of people just that's been around me that's heard my music that I've inspired to go ahead and want to make music themselves. So the music scene for me, I feel like if it's not big already, it's been growing. Is because you see a lot of artists. It's gotten to the point where I literally had to go ahead and put a copyright on my name, so all the other
Yeah,
artists can stop posting.
yeah. I was sitting here looking at. Let's see. It doesn't went to sleep. It went to sleep on me. But I was looking at the YouTube. I was like, damn, man, Seth's got. I couldn't even. I didn't even start counting. I just already kind of knew. I was like, man, he's got a lot of songs on YouTube. So, like you said, you had to start copyrighting everything or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, too. Right.
I wanted to make a video or in this video, kind of put your video in it, edit it, and then put your video in it. But I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to catch like the copyrights. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, no,
Because
no. Yeah. Look, just when you go ahead and you post it, just make sure that you tag me in it and whatnot, and it should waive any type of copyrights. And if I get any type of flag on it, I'll remove it. You'll be good.
okay, okay. I didn't know how that went because I did it with a couple artists before, and I got copyrighted, and I didn't. They didn't never tell me anything about it or whatever. So
Oh yeah, you got that. So you gotta get that YouTube studio. That YouTube studio helps out a lot when it comes to
yeah.
managing your YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube Studios where it's at. I got it read every.
Right,
That's
right. You got to get all that.
that's really what I want to work on is YouTube, and I try to tell people, but I was like, if they don't want to listen, that's what I tell people in the group. Get on YouTube, YouTube. Like everybody's on
Right, right.
Instagram, really, so that's why I've been on Instagram. But I'm really like a YouTube person.
What's
No
up, little
problem.
buddy?
Say what's up. Yeah, I've been trying to take care of him, man. He ain't feeling too good.
Oh yeah,
So
that weather's starting to come in.
like what type of style or music do you think what I'm saying the state's known for?
Kentucky definitely country. But you've been hearing a lot of artists. You've been
Can you
hearing
say
like a
that
lot of.
again?
I said I would definitely have to say that Kentucky definitely listens a little bit more to country, but we got a couple rap artists that are out here, so there's definitely rap out here too. I feel like every state, if I'm not mistaken, but everywhere that I've been to so far, they all have their own soul. You know what I mean, with their own music. You know what I mean. You could tell just by how they spit sometimes. You know what I mean. So I don't know. Kentucky's definitely with the country. That's for sure.
Okay, okay. And I've got that answer from a couple artists, what I'm saying? They said country or whatever. So,
Right, right.
and I kind of feel like that. And like there's actually an artist. I'm gonna try to tap you guys in with each other. King J the Blunt Man. He's a kind of like rap country artist. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
and I try to tell people. I kind of think pop music is what's kind of hot right now. But if you can mix like everything in, man, I think that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? If you can make a song
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
And
see, I like the having the, you know what I mean. I wouldn't want to brag and call it a skill, but just having the ability to be able to make rap, rock, and country. You know what I mean. It opens my, you know what I mean, my spectrum when it comes to making music with people. You know what I mean. So normally when I go ahead, you know what I mean, I always ask them, let me listen to the beat, let me catch the, you know what I mean, the flow of it, and then just go ahead and give me your lyrics. Let me know how you spit it and what your flow is, and first of all, what the idea of the song is going to be, so neither of us are off track with what we're trying to say, that like what we're trying to give off is, because every song gives out an image, you know what I mean. So,
hmm
and I feel like
so
that's one thing a lot of people gotta watch for, is because the songs nowadays is the reason why a lot of these people be acting the way they do.
nah, that's facts, man. That's real. Like and I don't. They put all this stuff in this music. I'm like, man, like real music's hard to. I ain't gonna say it's hard to find, but a real artist. But
It's
you know,
getting scarce.
it's definitely like you said. You're not bragging on yourself, but it's a skill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, could you give any advice to any upcoming artists or I'm saying musicians or anybody in the music scene?
My best advice is always practice on your craft. Okay, so even if it's in the morning or at the night, even if it's just a beat or two, make sure that you're always trying to practice on your craft and always rehearse your songs. um if you want to go ahead and build a fan base and all that, you're gonna have to do a lot of streaming, is because streaming is definitely a part of making music, you know what I mean, especially nowadays with today's, you know what I mean, social medias. So make sure that you know what I mean, you're constantly making content for your songs and you're constantly trying to advertise your music. And then when it comes to labels, like I said on my one song, you know what I mean, never sign a dotted line unless you get the full description. You know what I mean? So make sure
Mhm.
that you listen, and everything that's written down, even if you have to have a lawyer come in and help you with it, you know what I mean? Always read the fine print, is because that's what will get you.
Yeah,
Other than that, you know what I mean? Never in your damn life tell somebody that you can't make it. Always, you gotta have a heart of a lion if you want to make it into this industry. It's because it could get rough.
that's it, Seth. That's it, man. So for the people that's watching, like, damn, that's a dope artist. That's a dope interview. How do they go about finding you, Seth?
Well, you can find me. I try to keep it simple for everyone, but you just go Seth underscore ETK, and yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? I'm on every platform. And then when it comes to my music, you know what I mean? It's just ETK. My first album that it just dropped not too long ago is Forever and Always. You can find that on all streaming platforms. You know what I mean? So definitely tap in and take advantage of that as well. And I got to give my shout outs, you know what I mean? I got to thank Brandy Wine and Uncanny Minds for, you know what I mean, showing love and support. Golden Rose Entertainment, Cash Out Records, of course, you know what I mean? And then I got to give a special shout out to Valhalla Whiskey. That's my cousin. He's just starting up his business. So make sure y'all go ahead and tap in with him. It's because he literally got that, you know what I mean? Them spirits, I'll go ahead, grow hair on your chest, then melt it away. For real.
Yeah,
Then you know what I mean. You got Southside Nino, you got Tay is me, and you got Jeremy. You know they came in and showed love. You got the real NBF and Mr. Work, of course. You know what I mean. Another music artist. Murder Four Ways, all of them. You know what I mean. Thank y'all for coming out and showing some love. You know what I mean. The support and everything. You know what I mean. Make sure y'all tap in. It's because this man right here, he got some plans.
for sure, man. And I appreciate you, man, for tapping in with the channel, Seth. I'm gonna
Of
be
course, of
working with
course.
and futuristically speaking. You know what I'm saying? I know you got a lot going on. We both got a lot going on, but we're gonna definitely tap in with each other. You guys, make sure y'all go and give Seth a follow. Go and check his music
Yes,
out.
sir.
He's got all different types of music, like he's just go and check him out. Click the link in his bio, all his bios. If I ain't mistaken, he's got TikTok, he's got
Yeah, I got
Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, basically every social media besides Twitter, just because I feel like that's just, you know what I mean?
Now, before we get out of here, Seth, let the people know who you rocking with.
Hey, I'm rocking with Golden Rose Entertainment, and I'm always gonna show love to All Around TV. This is my boy right here. Make sure y'all tap in.
That's it. Hey, Seth, I'm gonna get up with you, man. Good day to you. I'm gonna get up with
Oh
you
yeah,
here
bless,
briefly.
bless. All right, say less. I got you,
Amen.
fam.
Good day to you, bro.
Good day, brother.